Hi, it's Kifin Bates here, and today I want to talk a bit about centralized, distributed and decentralized identity. And you're also going to hear a number of the terms that I mentioned about self-sovereign identity turning up in this as well. So if we go back historically, you started off with computer systems and you got an ID and a password, and that allowed you to log in and use the services, access them. So for example, a university might have a mainframe system and you have a username password, gives you email, allows you to run programs and post on bulletin boards, stuff like that. So this is all centralized, everything's in a separate silo and nothing is shared. And then things progressed to the point where an ID on one system could be used to authenticate yourself on another system. So this is familiar with things like, for example, log into Medium using your Facebook account, and that is kind of distributed, I suppose, but there is a problem because you don't have control over your identity. If Facebook decides that they're going to delete your account, that's it. Now if you've been relying on that to log into all these other places, suddenly you no longer can, and obviously this is a bit of a problem. And then finally now, with blockchain and with new thoughts about identity, we're starting to see the possibility of a decentralized method for managing identity. And that gives you censorship resistance. So it means that if one node no longer wants to accept you, well, there are plenty of other nodes out there that you can use instead. The blockchain model, and what I think it does is it boils down to the concept of ownership. That, to me, is the key thing about Bitcoin, the first blockchain system, is that as an individual, you are in complete control of your assets. You own them in the same way that you can own physical objects by having them on your person or locking them in your house. And I think that the great potential that is seen in blockchain plus identity is this concept of ownership. So when people talk about self-sovereign identity, it does sound a bit, well, I think Marcus Hautala sort of mentioning it, kind of science fiction-y and a bit sort of radical libertarian. And similarly, I'm not happy with self-managed identity either, because it's not about managing, it's about ownership. So I really find myself thinking more and more about self-owned identity, where you own your digital identity in the same way that in the real world you own your identity too. So there are some thoughts on centralization versus decentralization, and the fact that we're not anywhere near the decentralized end of the spectrum, and the fact that distributed identity is here today, but it has these weaknesses because you are ceding authority to a third party, and therefore you are running risks. Hope you found that interesting. See you in the next video soon. Bye for now.